ang Sagrada Familia Parish, this PSH is part of the territory. So, welcome to our first Mass. So, on this 25th Sunday of ordinary time, of course, we exalt Jesus Christ, the Son of God. Why? Because He is the wisdom that came down from heaven to serve humanity. And the Church invites us to listen to Him, to follow Him, and to follow His example by living an orderly and peaceful life. Today's first reading is fulfilled in the life of Christ. First, it points to Christ, the Son of God, who was put to death by jealous and wicked people. As a righteous man, Jesus reproached and condemned by the ambitious Pharisees and scribes of his time. They took offense and so persecuted and crucified Christ. This first reading is also fulfilled in the life of all those who suffer unjust persecution today for being true and just. Like Christ, sometimes we are persecuted by our enemies and even by our friends for doing the right thing. However, we must remain steadfast because God will surely vindicate us as He vindicated Christ. Our second reading reminds us of the importance of focusing sincerely on the things that unite us rather than on the ones that divide us. We all desire a harmonious life, yet many Christian communities, families, and homes live in frequent conflicts and disorder. As much as conflicts are inevitable in life, we must not allow them to tear us apart. Sadly, the root of most of such conflicts is selfish ambitions. So St. James, in our second reading, admonishes us not to allow selfish ambitions to destroy our relationships, our families, our associations, our communities. James asks us, where do all these battles between you first start? Is it not precisely in the desires fighting inside your own selves? You have an ambition that you cannot satisfy, so you fight to get your way by force. Of course, brothers and sisters, many families, marriages, communities, and nations have already been destroyed because of selfish ambitions or desires. We know that even in our own history in the country. So in today's gospel, Jesus foretells His imminent suffering, death, and resurrection. Unfortunately, instead of reflecting on what Christ was saying, His disciples were busy quarreling secretly over who was the greatest among themselves. Of course, their argument was aimed at the earthly government they imagined that Christ had come to establish. So like the community that James wrote to, Jesus' disciples were experiencing a conflict of interest. This is what we often see in any society, church, family, and indeed anywhere that personal ambition is considered more important than anything else. There we see infighting, gossips, indifference, aggression, threats to lives and properties, hatred, and all sorts of vices. All these can come at the expense of the common good and peaceful coexistence. Wherever this exists, there can be no progress, no prosperity, no peace. Therefore, by using a child as an example for us today, our Lord Jesus Christ is simply teaching us that we have to become like children in order to be great. Of course, this does not mean being childish. Rather, it means being childlike. It means that we have to live our lives in humble service to God and to one another. And finally, to be great is to be focused on something other than oneself. It means our ability to accommodate, to welcome, and to work in harmony with others, just as children always do. It also means our readiness to accept the truth and to reflect positively on it. And so, brothers and sisters in Christ, as we continue our Holy Eucharist, let us pray that our vocation to serve the Lord be a reality as we continue to journey every day in serving our family and our community and also in our parish. Because Jesus calls us always to be obedient servant for His kingdom. And that is our our call when we were baptized as Christians. Part of our threefold mission is being a prophet, priest, king, and prophet. So all of us are called to journey with Jesus and to give concrete fruits by our commitment to serve our brothers and sisters wholeheartedly. Let us pray for that. Through the help of our Blessed Mother, Mama Mary, sana maging mabunga ang ating mga buhay bilang mga tagasunod ni Kristo.